Good morning, party people, and welcome to this video. My name is Dylan Slater, and you're watching episode 8 of Road to Sub 245 Marathon Prep Series. Today, I've got a bit of a running session to do, followed by a recovery session. So I'm going to go through my recovery methods and what I do in terms of recovery to get myself ready for my next workouts, whether it's running, whether it's gym, you name it. My recovery methods that's going to help me to reach my goal of hitting sub 245 hours in the marathon. And I'll also go through my running workout that I am going to be doing today. I think today is going to be just more a nice easy run. I think it's probably about 35 minutes to 40 minutes. I'm going to probably try to implement a sprint session in that workout to make it fun. When you're running, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. There's going to be times where you don't want to be doing these little things, but it can be a chore, but it's what makes us be able to reach our goals if we set out to achieve. So whether it's running a sub 3 hour marathon or running a sub 230 marathon or 245, or running a sub 30-minute 10K, we got to put in the hard yards in our training and in our diet and our recovery to help us get those goals reached. So I'm gonna finish getting ready and then get stuck into my running workouts. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. So I just got back from my little jog. I did a 2K jog just to the supermarket and back. Unfortunately, I didn't have my phone on me, so I couldn't film it. But what I did was it was like a 2K jog up and back. Ended up being 4Ks in total. Ended up getting some milk for breakfast. So today I've got a bit of mobility to do, and then I've got another run which is probably a little bit bigger. It's 45 minutes in total, where I do a 2K warm-up jog, and then I do 6 1K sprints, about 60 to 70%, and then a cool down 1 kilometer jog, which should be fine. In between those 1 kilometer sprints, I have a 1:30 to 2 minute rest in between. That way I can get my breath back, and then reset, and then go from there. So there is a walking trail near my house, so I always like to, when I'm going for runs, I always like to go for there. It goes a couple of Ks, so you do like maybe 1K up, 1K back, and just repeat efforts every single time. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. With mobility work, it's always good to do some mobility stretches and get your body to be able to be more mobile. Doing mobility work for me, it helps me to be able to move a lot more freely and minimises the risk of causing an injury stuff. Because when you're running and stuff, you don't want to be tight. You want to be loose and be able to move freely, so you'll be able to push through your strides when you're running and have the chance to run really good. So mobility is really good. So that's to do with the groins, hammies, back, hips, the whole body, because when you're running, you're literally using your whole body. So you'd be nice when you're running. You're very stiff up in your back and shoulders and in your core, to a point your body starts to get stiff and very, very sore and very painful. So that's what I'll be doing right now. So yeah, see you next part. just finished doing my mobility, as you can see. Like I said, with mobility, it's always good to have good mobility in your body, whether that's in your ankles, whether it's in your groins, hips, wherever. For me, doing mobility, I get very tight hips and groins from previous injuries I've had. So when I'm running, if I start to feel a bit tight in my groins or my hips or my hip flexors, I tend to stress out a little bit. So as you get older, like myself, like I'm in my 30s, as you start to get older, you tend to understand how your body works, and you tend to know how your body works. So what works well for you might not work well for anybody else. So for me, I know, me being in my 30s, like I know that I've had previous injuries like knee recos, where I've done my ACL and had to have knee reconstructions. I've done my ankle, I've done my back, my groin, my hip flexors. I've torn my hip flexor off the bone. So I know for a fact that mobility for me is a real key area for me to be able to reach my goal, whether that's running a sub 2:45 marathon or be able to chase down my opponent in football, or bowl my absolute quickest and unleash some serious fire pace in cricket, or run a half marathon or just run in particular. So mobility for me is really key. So doing mobility stretches like that is definitely going to help. I'm sure there's going to be heaps of other different exercises that's going to help my mobility. So if you have any ideas or any exercises that you can think of and want to share, definitely reach out to me through a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or even leave a comment in the videos. So that way I can put into consideration in using for my my mobility work. So so now I'm gonna have something to eat, have some brekkie, and then I'll get stuck in my running workout. So yeah, stay tuned. So I'm just doing a quick warm-up. So my workout today is going to be a 2K warm-up, give or take, and then it's going to be about 5 1K sprints at 70 to 80%, followed by a cool-down jog. So this is just trying to get the heart rate racing a bit, build some kilometers in my legs and stuff. I do have marathon prep starting this week coming, so that's going to be down at Albert Park, which is going to be good. So that goes Sunday and Wednesdays. So I will be filming that, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, this should only hopefully take about half an hour to 40 minutes, maybe 45. So with the 5k 1k sprints, I do have rest between, so it's like 30 or 2 minutes rest between. So yeah, almost finished this warm up before I start my actual interval. So let's go. So we'll warm up. I'll be on 2K. So now, between a minute 30, 2 minutes rest in between, and then I'll get stuck into this interval. With this interval, it's going to be 5 1K efforts at around about 70 to 80% max speed. So if I, for example, if I run about 4:45 in a half marathon or 6 minutes in a full marathon, I want to be doing maybe a little bit quicker than that, but aiming probably maybe a 5 minute per kilometre. So you go off of what my goal time I want to reach, and go from there. So my aim is to finish the marathon in 2 hours and 45 minutes, or under 2 hours and 45 minutes. So that is looking rough for me at about maybe 3 minutes 53 per kilometre. So I want to be looking around about maybe 5 minutes per kilometre for these 4 or 5 efforts, and then I've got like a nice slow cool down effort. So I think I've got a minute to go and then get stuck into it. So so with these workouts, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be times where it's going to be tough and you don't want to do it, but unfortunately, to run a marathon, you've got to have a lot of K's in your legs and you've got to have a lot of training. So unfortunately, the last few weeks I haven't been able to run, so due to an injury, but I've been slowly getting back into it. I've been able to get back into some running, been given all clear to go back to do some running. So that's going to help me. It might mean that my aim at the Nike Melbourne is slightly changed, but that's all right. My goal is to run 2 hours and 45 minutes or under at any marathon. So if I don't get it done at Nike, I'll hit back the drawing board and really work on, okay, what do I need to do, and use the momentum. So yeah, all right, 5 seconds and I'll get stuck into it. 2, 1, go.
Oh. That's one down. 40 go. Oh. I think the first bit, like I said, running isn't easy. It's designed to really test you out. You can have like a really good day, and then you can have a really challenging day. And for me, I'm not really too sure. Like, the running workouts aren't easy. I think I'd be a bit too high there. So I think I've got about a minute left to go. With that, I think the next rep it's all about trying to get through it. I'll slow down the running a little bit. I'll push it back down to maybe 65 to 70%, and then go from there. So I've got about 30 seconds to go, and then get stuck in the next one. So this is all about just, like I said, just getting the reps done. Don't have to be as fast, but enough just to really get the workout in. So this is going to be very hard. Okay, so no excuses. I think I said in the last video I've had a bit of an injury, and then in the last few days been struggling with the chest infection, but I'm out here running, so yeah, all right, 10 seconds. And sometimes after each climbing, I might, depending on how I feel, I might take maybe an extra 20-30 seconds here and there, just to get through. So yeah. Alright, 3, 2, 1, rep 2. suit, eh? Got 3 to go. Oh yeah. Bloody hell. We're here today. We're here today for a few weeks. Do this sort of workouts. Oh fuck. It's hard work, so this rest I'll be taking about just a bit over 2 minutes. Sometimes, depending on how I feel, like I said, it might mean I might take a little bit longer just to get my breathing down a bit and out of control. But for me, my heart rate's not too high, but it does help when you have good heart rate. It's like too high, over 170, and you only done a couple of Ks. It's very hard, so I've got minute 30 left, and then I'll get stuck in this one. I think tomorrow I've got tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, depending on when I do it. So Monday, I've got like a recovery jog. They shouldn't go too long. I should go probably maybe between 20 to 30 minutes, nice and easy. So, I'll do that. Wednesday, I've got another running session to do, a little bit longer. Tuesday is where, so football do a fair bit of running, so I might record that for the next episode, so stay tuned for that. And then, like I said, I've got a marathon prep at Albert Park Lake, so that goes every Sunday and every Wednesday leading up to the Nike Melbourne in October. So a bit of a trek to get up there, but a nice little prep for the marathon. So yeah. So alright, I've got 30 seconds to go, and then I'll get stuck in it. This is going to be rep 3. 15 seconds. 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Rep 3. can't stress enough what I'm saying is. Running isn't easy. It's not supposed to be easy. People say running is easy. It's only easy if you want to take it easy. If you want to work hard and put in the hard yards and push yourself, then it's not going to be easy. What's going to be easy is how you are able to adapt to whatever comes your way, so whether it's weather, whether it's little potholes on the track, or had enough fuel, or if you carry an injury or whatever, or what, got to feel all the way. The only way it becomes easy for you guys to know is make all sacrifices for yourself. So what that means is saving partner, saving the time. You've got a catch up with the friends. Your real friends will understand if you have to reschedule. Right? You make a sacrifice and put priorities in place. Stand on top first. Right? Say you've got like a cook, you pay a cook and that's like you turn out to cook. Right? You make sacrifices to help yourself. Same as running. Nobody likes to do. Okay? Like me, I know that I'm ready. When it's football or the game day, I'm always ready. No one likes to put that line, I'm ready. No one likes to put the starting line, I'm ready. Doesn't matter when, I can't have any excuses. So, I make sacrifices. I sacrifice my sleep to be out here. I sacrifice being in the warm house under the heater to be out here. So, alright, I've got 2 more verses to go. And now I've got to go. Let's go. Later, we've got Bills, runners, Bills endurance. We've got Bills, the legacy of Bills legends. It's the sacrifices that we make to help ourselves and help everybody else around us. We make sacrifices in order to reach our goals. Sometimes reaching those goals might take longer than expected, and sometimes there's so many people out there that will make people sacrifice. I don't stop with what I get. So I'm always making sacrifices. Just to better myself and better everyone. 30 seconds. Time's up. This is hard. Harder than it looks. But it's on. Alright. That's it. That's 5 long kilometre efforts. At 60 to 70%. It's bloody hard. So just under 7Ks. Start work. I did like a football workout or football style rally during the mid-season break that we've got at the moment. and it's not supposed to be easy. It was tough, but got it done. Body's a little bit fatigued, but body was alright for me to do running today. So with these style workouts, sometimes I'll use the Strava for it, and then there'll be days where I don't use the Strava, and then I just use the running program that my running coach gives me. So and then I'll punch it into my watch and my times and stuff, and it goes from there. So today was just 45 minutes. It was about a bit over 7k or just under 7k's. So so now just do a little bit of a cool down walk, and then that should be my running for the day. So these are going to the next few weeks leading up to the Nike Melbourne Marathon. I'm going to be aiming to try to post a couple of workouts in between. So say if I did a running workout on a Sunday and then a Wednesday, I'll try to film those and I'll put it in the next episode. Going forward, it's just going to get tougher and tougher and tougher, but I'm able to do it, so which is good. So there's never going to be a time where I'm going to be not doing any workouts. So anyway, I'm going to finish this cool down, walk or jog or whatever I do, cool myself down, and then I'll see you in the next part of the video.
Alright, so I've just got back from my run. I did a bit over 7k's or just under 7k's running. So I did do a little bit of running workout before for football. So being in the mid-season break, we tend to do a little bit of running just to keep our fitness up. So I did about 3.5k's of running for there. It was more like explosive running, a bit more repeated efforts. So body's a little bit fatigued there, or my calf's a little bit fatigued, but other than that, it should be fine. And then did about a bit on 7k's of running. So probably about 10.5k's of running in total. So not too bad. Going forward, there's going to be probably maybe another episode that's going to be thrown in during the week. And they're going to be tailored around recovery, hydration, fuel, tips on how to prepare for a race, and tips on the recovery afterwards. So you might see that coming up in the next few weeks. Marathon prep has started for me, but for the Nike Melbourne, we do have their own marathon prep that starts, I think, this week coming. So starts on Sunday, goes every Sunday, every Wednesday. So I'll be doing that, and that runs at Albert Park Lake in St Kilda. So I'll be doing that. So I'll be posting videos on that as well. So I'll be doing workouts and then go from there. So with recovery methods, if you're doing a workout for running, or whether you're doing a workout for football or gym or swimming, you need to have a good recovery method. You can't just finish up doing a workout and just sit around doing nothing. You got to be doing something that's going to help recover. So, and with that being in mind, you got to have the right nutrition that's going to help recover those muscles, repair those muscles, and you got to have probably exercises that you're going to be doing to recover. So, for example, after my gym, if I'm at the gym, I'm always sitting in the sauna after my workout to recover. One, to sweat it out to help me shred, but also it helps me recover and prepares me for the next day. Sometimes if I'm lucky enough to get down into the water, I'll go down and stand in the water at the beach or down at the local outdoor pool, or I'll do an ice bath. Unfortunately, I don't have an ice bath here, but I'll be getting one soon. And then I might go for a walk. I might take a dog for a walk if I think of it, just to keep my body moving. I will hydrate. So people say, "Oh, you got to have heaps of water." For me, water is a key, but I've got other drinks and supplements that I'll take. So I might have a Gatorade, or I might have like my post-running hydration electrolyte, and I might then add a little bit of salt, a bit of sodium, and a bit of magnesium, just to help recover those muscles and put the salts back into me. And then with my fuel, I'm always having a lot of protein, because protein is really good to repair the muscles and really build them up. And then having carbs as well. So you can still have carbs after you're having a workout and stuff, but it's when you're doing a workout, you got to have your carbs in there. So depending on my workouts and when I do my workouts, sometimes I might do my workouts before I have something to eat. So I'm using the glycogen that's stored in my body as fuel. So sometimes I might not feel 100% when I'm running, or 100% doing my workouts, but when I'm doing these workouts, or any kind of workout, I don't half send it. I go full send. So sometimes I might struggle, but that's part of life, and that's part of building progress. Every step you take is one step closer to your goal. Every step you take is one step further than the next. So if you don't do any running, you don't do any workouts, and you're sitting on your ass doing nothing, and you say, "Oh, I'm a bit sore," kind of stuff. Yeah, you're going to be sore doing a workout, but you might be sore now and stuff, but you just won't do it. Your mind, body, and soul will just hate you for it. So getting off the chair, doing something, you're setting yourself up to succeed. So recovery methods, there's all different types of recovery methods. So it's like, you've got osteo. So if you're a bit sore in your body and you need a good adjusting and stuff, osteo, chiropractor for that. If you need a bit of physio on your calves, hammies, or your body, physio is good. I always go to either a myotherapy or a physio. At the moment, I'm doing a physio because I've had a couple of injuries recently with my knees and an ongoing Achilles problem. But I can rest assure you guys my knee's fine, which is good. So I've been able to go back to running. Struggled a little bit today, but I don't know, I'm not too bad. So having a good chiropractor, having a good osteo or physio is going to be good for you, and it's going to help you in the long run. And then recovery methods that you can do at home is stretching. Got to do a lot of stretching before and after the workout, so that way your body's not tightening up. Continue moving around. If you sit down straight after doing a workout, your body will seize up, so you just got to keep moving around. Hydration, fuel. So when I say fuel, it means having good nutrition. So you have your pre-workout meals, you have your post-workout meals, and the post-workout meal is going to be probably maybe high carb, high protein, so which should be good, and that's going to be there to refill your body that you've just all that like all the nutrients that you burn in your workouts. So and it's going to refill you. So it's your muscles are going to be and your body's going to be thanking for it. And then other recovery methods you can do is, if you have an ice bath at home, get in the ice bath. If you don't have an ice bath, go down to the local Bunnings or local hardware store and buy a garbage bin and turn it into an ice bath and stuff. So you can turn that into an ice bath, put cold water in, heaps of bags of ice, and just stand in the water, do probably 15 minutes in total. So you do 2 minutes in, 2 minutes off, 2 minutes in, 2 minutes off, 2 minutes in, 2 minutes off, or maybe 5 minutes in, a minute off, or 2 minutes off, 5 minutes in, 2 minutes off. So that if you're fortunate enough to have if you're fortunate enough to have a sauna at home or an actual ice bath, do ice bath and sauna in one. Ice bath is really good to really recover the muscles. It shocks the muscles, and what it does is it speeds up the recovery, where the sauna is there to sweat out all the bad toxins in your body, but also recover you as well. So you might feel a little bit sore the next day, but then by the time your workout starts, you'll be fine. So if you're fortunate enough to do that both. Or if you're fortunate enough just to have an ice bath, you've got a portable ice bath, get in the ice bath. Like once I buy my portable ice bath, I'll be getting it probably every morning before work or before my workouts. So I'll be doing that every time I can when I do get it. So, but if you don't have one, go down to the local beach or go down to like a outside pool that you can stand in the water. And spend probably maybe 15-20 minutes there, and then go from there. So yeah, that's probably about it. You know what to do. Stay massive, be relentless, go one more, and I'll see you in the next episode. You.